Anybody signed up to speak?
No.
Did a good job, right?
Anybody like to
Make a motion to close public hearing.
give a second?
That's a second.
There's a second.
That's supposed to be during the question.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Welcome all to our November 7th, 2024 Wilton Town Board meeting. Would you rise for the pledge? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Lamb,
Here.
Deputy Supervisor McEachran,
Here.
Councilman Bogardus,
Present.
Councilwoman Culligan, Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Thank you. Anybody signed up to speak with comment?
Yes. 3 minutes. Devin Klender.
Thank you, folks. Good evening. I don't know if this is a little early. I know that number 14 on the agenda regarding the cannabis moratorium. Just quick comments. So good evening. My name is Devin Klender. I grew up at 134 Ingersoll Road. Currently live in Saratoga Springs. I'm here respectfully to oppose the proposed moratorium on cannabis activities. As you know, New York State cannabis industry is in its infancy, but it holds tremendous potential to bring economic benefit to our community. Implementing moratorium at this stage could prevent the town of Wilton from tapping into a growing industry that's already proven to bring job opportunities, increased tax revenue, and support for local businesses. In other parts of the state, the moratorium now could delay and even halt crucial infrastructure that could benefit our community, not just today, but for generations to come. The Office of Cannabis Management aims to only issue 3,000 licenses across all various aspects of this industry. This includes retail, cultivators, processors, distributors, and micro businesses. To put this into perspective, California has currently licensed over 12,000 operators. It's one of these incredibly difficult licenses. It happens to be obtained by a local resident. It should be cherished and supported indefinitely. Many of these small operators face the inevitable competition from publicly traded companies, state operators who are destined to gain entry over time. These are critical times for small self-funded operators to build a foothold. Only 2 times in the past 100 years has an opportunity like this been approachable to the common man. The end of prohibition of alcohol in 1933 and the end of cannabis prohibition in 2022. All new upstate townships should embrace this new agricultural commodity. In 2022, corn was a major agricultural product of New York. Its entire industry generated approximately $549 million. This includes both sweet and field-grown corn. This was over 1 million acres, producing 7.2 million tons of corn. New York State is also really well known for apples. Apples generated approximately $345 million. As of today, the New York State cannabis industry has approximately created $520 million. It is on track to be a $7 billion a year industry and will generate close to $1 billion of tax revenue. By working together to develop a reasonable, regulated approach to cannabis, Wilton can position itself as a forward-thinking town that embraces new economic opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like this ball.
Orson Klender.
Good evening. Orson Klender, Ted McCarthy. I just wanted to speak in support of Devin and his past experience. Several years with the cannabis business. I think it's a great opportunity for the town to look at what they're doing and be forward-thinking and look into the details that we presented tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly Dennis.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kelly Dennis, and I live on the corner of Loudon and Ruggles. I'm here to talk about agenda item 10. This is my daughter Sadie. I also live there with my husband and my other daughter Taylor, who's just turned 17. It's important for us to be here tonight to share some information, kind of a first-hand account. We live right on that corner there, where we're asking for support of a 4-way stop sign. We really feel that there's a need because of the excessive speeding, multiple accidents, lack of visibility, and also a lot of pedestrian and cyclist traffic coming through there. Without the 4-way stop sign, we, again, have been witnessing excessive speeds coming down through the intersection, cars passing other cars on the double yellow line, out-of-control drivers off the road, even almost potentially hitting deer that are in the road and wildlife. I myself have had to stand out and call 911 for accidents because of excessive speed, helped people who are injured and waiting for an ambulance. I've been out there in that intersection. And the biggest one to me is my daughter. I'm standing there getting her off the school bus, and cars have potentially passed the school bus coming down through that intersection. So as a concerned parent, I'm here tonight, to the point where I've had to walk out into the road to stop cars coming down to excessive speeds. So, the addition of these stop signs, we do feel that it will require drivers to come to a complete stop at that intersection. Visibility is a little limited, and again, we have school buses on this road. We have people pulling out of driveways, pedestrians, cyclists. We have neighbors walking their dogs and crossing the street there. Our feeling too is that also we want to keep other drivers coming through Wilton safe as well in our community. And again, hopefully preventing future accidents as well as a possible tragic event. And again, we've witnessed a lot of these things happening outside of our house. Again, we're bringing these concerns to you today just to show the need. Again, when it's time for you to vote, please think about your child or grandchild getting off that school bus and trying to cross this busy road. Maybe your cyclist friend at the back of a group ride trying to get across this intersection. Maybe your parent, spouse, or teenager standing out at their mailbox, bringing their trash cans out. Again, the presence of stop signs we feel is a reflection of the community's commitment to safety. They're relatively inexpensive to install and maintain, and again, we feel like it could be a cost-effective solution. Again, the installation of a 4-way stop at Loudon and Ruggles will not only support the safety of our community, but also those coming through Wilton and traveling in our town. Again, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Colby Eaton. All right.
Hi, good evening. My name is Colby Yetton. I live at 22 Brookside Drive. I grew up at 15 Cobble Hill Drive. Lifelong resident of Wilton. I want to thank everybody for the opportunity of speaking this evening, but I'm here to, in support of Devin and agenda item 14. I'm a first-generation farmer. Coming into this industry, again, first-generation farmer, but coming into this industry, looking at ag and market ag protected crops such as cannabis, and seeing Wilton do or make a moratorium on something like this, making hardships for people like me trying to get into said industries outside of cannabis as well, makes it something that we are highly discouraging the town from looking at. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tom Case.
I'm basically here for the same reason as the other girl was, the stop signs. Loudon Road basically, as everyone knows, runs from the mall all the way out to 29. There's only 3 crossroads on that whole road. One is down at Ingersoll, which is a 4-way stop. One is Edie, which is a 4-way stop. And the next one is Ruggles, which is only a 2-way stop. The problem with that road is, I know I've lived there 40 years. So when I come down the hill, I purposely slow down because those crossroads are blind, I don't see them. And the problem with that is we have had numerous accidents. 3 have come close with my own family. run off the road and stuff like that. One thing you gotta realize too is the traffic is like 10 times what it used to be. We have half a dozen subdivisions on Loudon Road. We never had them before. So, and the other thing is a lot of people use Loudon Road as a bypass road rather than taking 29 to Weevil. It's quicker. So you increase there. And this whole thing really, it's just a safety issue. I mean, I've heard stuff like $17,000 for traffic studies and all that. Two stop signs, why even bother with that? The Department of State doesn't even require you to do these studies. You have the right to put the stop signs in. We've already done that. You've got legal paperwork showing all that. So it just blows my mind that this kind of attention is coming to two stop signs. You know, we're not asking to put in traffic study, we're putting a restaurant on Loudon Road, any of it. We just want, use your common sense, that's all. And that's basically it. I mean, there's nothing else, it's stop signs. What else is there to talk about? But I want to thank John, Ray, John, Sue, Wayne, and Aaron for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kathleen Timmick.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kathleen Timwick. I'm also here to respectfully oppose the moratorium on cannabis activities. I believe the cannabis industry is on a major rise that can be benefited from in many ways. Cannabis is more than just a recreational drug, it's a medicine. The cannabis industry offers tremendous growth opportunities for local and state businesses. By establishing regulated adult-use cannabis markets, state and local governments are able to tax cannabis sales and benefit economically by creating thousands of new jobs. In states with taxed and regulated cannabis markets, overall sales and tax revenue have quickly exceeded initial estimates. There will be a lot of hurdles to jump with this industry being so new, and hopefully this will be one that we can jump together.
Thank you.
Mike Bryce.
Tonight, you're going to decide whether the intersection of Loudon and Ruggles should be a four-way stop. Well, the intersection of Loudon and Ingersoll and Loudon and Eady are both four-way stops, as they should be. But the inconsistency in the traffic control measures within close proximity raises questions about why Loudon and Ruggles doesn't follow the same standard as nearby intersections. By making Loudon and Ruggles a four-way stop, you are making it a lot safer of an intersection, especially with all the new development in the area. I really think this is a simple ask by the people, and it deserves a simple yes. As for any other traffic studies, I can tell you this. The best studies that were ever done are by the residents in the area in question, and that's a fact. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tish Benincasa.
Hi, good evening. I live on 80 Road, close to Loudon. I know the importance of stop signs always as they go from my road on, and then the cars will come in right by my house. But I just wanted to say that this seems like an easy decision by the board. I mean, we the people voted for you, and now we're just expressing our will for some things as simple as stop signs. So to me, this is a simple decision to make, just to put them in and possibly prevent a tragic accident while keeping all the residents safe in this area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
I got one that was mailed. So I got a letter from Mark Galicia from Loudon Ruggles four-way stop. In his own words, not mine. So good evening, members of the town board and fellow residents. My name is Mark Galicia and my wife Gina are proud residents of Wilton living on Loudon Road. While I'm unable to be present at tonight's meeting, I felt it was crucial to lend my voice to this important discussion regarding the intersection of Loudon and Ruggles. Tonight, the town board will have an opportunity to make a decision That is not just about traffic patterns, it's about safety and well-being of our community. The purpose of transforming this two-way stop into a four-way stop is a necessary and timely change, one that will reflect our town's commitment to protecting its residents. It is essential that we as a community listen to the voices of Wilton residents advocating for this change. The reasons for this change are clear and compelling: safety and uniformity. It is evident that a four-way stop will significantly reduce the risk of accidents now and in the future. In our efforts to create a safer environment for our families, our children, and our neighbors, we must prioritize solutions that mitigate potential hazards. Moreover, we must recognize that both Loudon Road and Ruggles Road are town-owned roads, giving our town the full authority to enact this change without delay. The opposition to this proposal lacks a solid foundation, and it stands in stark contrast to the expressed will of its constituents. Tonight, I urge the town board to embrace its responsibility as guardians of our community's safety. This decision should not be difficult. It should be straightforward, reflection of the will of the people you represent. By voting in favor of this change, you will not only enhance the safety of our streets, but also demonstrating your commitment to responding to the concerns and needs of the residents of Wilton. Thank you for your consideration. I respectfully call on you to support this important change.
John, could I have that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
I'm going to make a motion to approve October's minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. The 2025 budget, need a motion, but Maria, you got cut off last month. You want to talk about it, or
Oh, sure, I'd be happy to give a couple of highlights if you'd like, just very quickly.
up to you? I know you got shut off last month.
Oh,
I
that's okay.
apologize for that.
That was fine. I know that we had other things that we were discussing last month. Totally fine. So the budget that's presented is representative of a 4.2% decrease from the current year amended budget. So that is a very positive start for the new year. It represents the 43rd year that there's no town tax or no town highway tax. And so again, the work of the board has been very positive and on creating a structurally balanced budget. We have about $1.6 million worth of projects that we're going to tackle in 2025. It includes $900,000 worth of road improvements. There's about $336,000 worth of highway equipment that is going to be purchased, $266,000 of park equipment and park improvements, and $95,000 software update for our buildings department, which is much needed. The software that's currently there is just not working as it should. Overall, the budget is a structurally sound budget, meaning that we are relying on current period revenues to offset current period expenditures. We're not using one-off revenue to pay for regular expenditures. We're not using fund balance to fund any of our current period expenditures. So I wanted to thank the board for your support and for, again, another solid year of planning.
We want to thank you for doing a great job. Someone want to make a motion, Doctor?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Request to rezone properties 851 Route 9, tax map number 114-2-74 and 114-2-51, comma 122. You ready, Frank?
Just about. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Frank Palumbo from CCML Associates, representing Mr. Zappone on this application. So I wanted to just take a moment to possibly correct a little bit of things that might have been misunderstood at the last meeting, and unfortunately I was not able to be here at that one. So the request that we are making is for a zone change, not a use variance. We met
in a meeting with town staff before we made any application, and we followed the instructions on what we had to do with the town board, what we had to do with the planning board, what we had to do with the zoning board. We provided all those plans with all those applications, and they were in town hall at the time, but Mr. Shackner, I think, had not seen those, so he presented saying, well, we should find out more information. Well, the information was actually already in town hall. But the real point of this is that, I'm just going to move forward for a second. Mr. Zapone's property is off of Route 9 and Ernst Road. It's divided into 4 properties. There are utility easements running right through here that divide the front two. Mr. Zapone just recently did some improvements on the property to remove some of the old buildings out front.
That was a nice job.
So, but in the back are 2 parcels. This was formerly Bowman Landscaping, and that already has a building on it. And the entire part of that property was, right or wrong, if they were in violation, I'm not going to question that, but it was operating as a business on the entire property. The zone line goes 500 feet off of Route 9, and it splits our property right here. Our argument in terms of why this should be made, and I think that it's fairly a common sense one, is that you'll see that not in every case, the line follows right along the property lines here. All right? It goes along 500 feet, and you can see that there are some properties that we highlighted where very small portions of the land, of the property, could have just been worked around. In our case here, there's a brook right there, and this little peninsula here back to that brook, and this land here, that's what we're asking you to change to the RB zone. The fact that it was, the only reason I brought up the fact that it was being used as a business is because, and I know what they were doing, because I at one point had gone there to get some topsoil, operating heavy machinery, moving it about. So there is a plan, and that I think was what was asked for of this board, that had been already in the town, had already been requested to be on the, and we were hoping to already be on the planning board agenda and the zoning board agenda. But with Mr. Shackner's recommendation, we ended up not being able to go to those boards ahead of this. So and there was an issue of whether or not the environmental assessment form was covering everything. Well, the reality is that we could do this without anything else. If the board saw fit that this really does make sense to convert that back zone to being the RB zone and using the property in a manner that it had already been being used as a business. You do, I think, have received the plans that show that his intention right now, that he has to go through the planning board for, would be for outdoor storage unit, not the climate control type. But that is town, regardless if the planning board said no to that, he still would like to have this rezoned so that the whole of his property, the land that is already cleared and pushed back, and that he could already use that, but he would actually be in violation if it was connected with his business. So all we're really asking the board to do, and certainly the thing that's on the agenda for tonight, is to set the public hearing for this, and then I'll give the same spiel again to people that would come to it. But I think it's very clear that this plan, the zone change, and again, not a use variance, because the use variance has a much higher standard. The board is the ones that originally approved this board, other boards, this zoning. And so they also have the right and ability to, when the request is reasonable, to make that change. And that's what we're asking for. And I'm happy to answer any questions, because I know the board may not have had all that information at the last meeting.
I remember the last person that was in there was 100% a full-blown business. So that's all I needed to hear. We're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody want to make a motion,
I'll make the motion, set a public hearing.
Second.
A second.
December 5th
All in favor?
at 7 p.m.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Frank,
If you could email me your letter to contiguous owners, there it is. Okay.
Email you the letter of what we do.
You're gonna send to those.
Okay.
All
You
right?
had it all prepared last time, so I'll double check and get that to you.
Thank you.
Sounds like a personal.
Yeah, probably is.
Need a motion to road acceptance portion of Brookhaven Court Phase 2, this division.
All good, Mike?
Mike, is that all standard?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Speed limit reductions, Dimick Road, Northern Pines Road, Cardinal Nichols, need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Four-way stop sign, Dimick Road at Gurn Springs intersection.
Make a motion that we put them stop signs in.
I know last month we had asked town council for opinion on stuff. Have we received that opinion at all?
We have not to my knowledge.
We can do...
We asked for clarification on stuff.
Yeah, we can do it with a resolution.
Right.
We don't need no study or any of that.
A study's not required.
Oh, I mean, we very clearly asked for opinion on this.
Yeah, he called me, he said, you can do what you want. On a resolution.
Did he put anything in writing on that?
Do you need it in writing?
You think I lied to you?
No, I don't know who, I'm not saying anybody's lying, but as far as, you know, our justification and moving forward, I mean, I would have liked his opinion on it. I mean, we did specifically ask him for his opinion on these stop signs, and he was gonna get back to us. Well, he hasn't.
He has. That's what he's trying to tell you.
Right, and I give
But he
you,
hasn't got back to the whole board.
I read out the numbers for this DOT laws that stated that too.
Do you want to call him on his phone? I mean, I don't understand.
He's on vacation in California.
Right.
I'd like to table this until he's here to
I
get
don't
his
want to
opinion.
table it. I
I
made
don't
the
want to table it, I
motion.
want a second, I want to get this over
I
with.
made the motion to put the thing in. I think it makes sense. I've read it. I've looked at it. I've lived in this town my entire life. That stop sign should have been put in 20 years ago when the other ones were put in.
All of them should be in.
All of them. As far as I'm concerned, they should all have them, but I know we can't do the one on the one road because it's a county road, but, yeah, I don't need to...
Well, I think we have another list of stop sign of requests also.
Yeah.
What's no different? I don't, the other, where's the other one? On Loudon Road and
9 to
Ruggles.
10.
But I believe Mike, Superintendent Highway, has other lists of people requesting stop signs too.
Yeah, I mean, if we
Well, look
don't,
at them when
the stop signs are cheap.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I'm not opposed to stop signs, but we very clearly asked him for his opinion, and he's not here to give it.
I heard it from him, so.
I'm not doubting your words or anything, but I mean, he should communicate it with the whole board.
Somebody want to second that first motion?
I'll second the motion on the Dimick and Gurn Springs Road intersection. Under the condition that before the stop signs are actually placed, that the highway department thoroughly looks at, whenever we put up new stop signs. I mean, I was on the town board way back in the day when we put them up on Ingersoll and Loudon, and make sure all the warning signs, flags,
I think 6 months.
everything that needs to be done, so that make sure it's done absolutely, safe, and that between now and when the signs go up, if we can get concurrence with council for the issue that Councilman Bogardus raised, because the council happens to be on vacation this week, but he's expected to be back by Monday. So it'll only take a couple of days to rectify that issue. So under those two conditions, I'll second the motion.
Pull the board, Sue.
Councilman O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilwoman Culligan?
Yes.
Councilman Bogardus?
I'm going to abstain because I have not been able to, I'm not against them, don't get me wrong. It just, I wanted council's
Maria,
legal
was you in
advice.
the office when the attorney called me?
No.
All right.
Deputy Supervisor McEachran?
Yes.
Supervisor Witt?
Yes. Make a motion, four-way stop sign on Loudon, Ruggles Road.
I'll make that same, I'll make that motion with the same two conditions that I
Have a second?
stated on that.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Councilman O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilwoman Callaghan?
Yes, and I would like it on the record that last month I never opposed those stop signs. Some of my friends on social media were misinformed.
Councilman Bogardus?
Again, I'm not opposed to them, I just was wishing to hear council's advice.
Okay. Deputy Supervisor McEachran?
That's yes.
And Supervisor Witt?
Yes.
Okay.
And we will put the same sign that went up for the traffic circle, that there's a new, there's been a change in the traffic. We had it prior to, we had it prior to this.
Prior to?
Yeah, we had it prior to the roundabout, that there was a new traffic device ahead.
As soon as you come up, press the wheel. Yeah, just a car, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mike knows what he's doing, he's gonna do it right. Bid approval, fire alarm panel for highway building, need a motion. You all got the price, it was like $25,000?
Yes, $25,969.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Health insurance benefits, you wanna explain them, Maria, please?
So our plan year for health insurance runs from December 1st through November 30th. We're coming up on our renewal. We offer two types of health insurance through CDPHP for our active employees and our retired employees who are not 65 yet, so therefore they're not on Medicare yet. There is the high deductible and the EPO. The high deductible EPO was relatively flat this year in terms of the renewal cost. It's a 1% increase. But interestingly, the HMO, which was always a low-cost, attractive option, increased by 13%. So the employees are able now to see side by side what the benefits are for each one of those two options, and they'll be making their selections in the next week or so because they are due back to Nancy. So those are our two active employee health insurance benefits, and also for retired employees who are not 65.
You wanna make a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Health reimbursement arrangement, you wanna explain that one too, Maria?
Absolutely. So to help employees with the high deductibles that these plans involve, the town funds a deductible account, so to speak. So the employee will go to the doctor, they pay a deductible or not. However it works out at the doctor's office, the HRA, or the health reimbursement account, will reimburse the employee for that deductible or pay it in the first instance. However it works, sometimes works different ways for different employees for different reasons. The high deductible plan that we have, the EPO, has a deductible of $2,500 for the employee or $5,000 for the family. And for the high deductible HMO, we have $2,200 deductible and $4,400 deductible for the family. So that's a nice benefit for the town employees, whereby the town is funding 100% this year in 2025 as opposed to the 75% that we had previously been funding.
That should make them happy.
Yes, I hope so. I sure hope so.
Wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moratorium on cannabis warehousing and processing.
Yeah, every once in a while, there's a new industry that comes about for which, not just our town, but a lot of municipalities get caught kind of flat-footed on, what do we do? Where do they go? How do they operate? What conditions there might be? I mean, way back in the day, I was chairman of the county planning board when cell towers first became a thing. You know, when the cell phones became popular and everybody had to have one. And municipalities didn't have any regulations for them. Where are they going to go? How tall can they be? Can they be next to a residential neighborhood? Whatever else. We went through this the last couple of years with the solar industry, with the introduction of large solar arrays. Our zoning was inadequate to address this new industry, and now we have another new industry, cannabis. So, before, and I think one of the gentlemen, mentioned, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's big business. And, and given that it's a new type of business and industry, we have virtually nothing in our code to address issues that we may not even be aware of, as far as this new industry. And what we did in those other cases is, we had a limited time moratorium so that town staff could work on, zoning and other issues related to these new industries. And we can't put a moratorium on today. Council, says that we have to have a public hearing before establishing a moratorium. So the only action that I think the board should take is just to schedule a public hearing for next month on the issue.
And that's the first step.
Right.
No matter what.
To educate ourselves.
I'll make a motion to set the public hearing.
Second.
Is there a moratorium or no?
No.
You can't set it today. Yes,
That's what the public
hearing is to see,
It's got to go back to the county.
debate a moratorium.
And again, this is not like we're against it. We just want to make sure we get it right.
We want to be
Protect
educated.
you, protect us, protect everyone. It's not a no, it's just we want to make sure we get it right for everybody. And unfortunately,
Public decision.
it's a lengthy process.
It's a public decision.
So that will be December 12th at 7:01 PM?
December
5th or
5th.
the 12th?
Did I get a second?
December 5th? Yes, John McEachran.
You got a second.
You all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
December 5th. Sorry about that.
What's the date?
December 5th.
December 5th, 7:01.
Amendment to local law number 5, 2023, fireman's exception. We got to set a public hearing.
Make a motion.
They had to change some of the wording, that's why it's got to be redone.
I'll second Aaron's motion for December 5th. Sue?
At 7:02?
I have to abstain.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain. I'm a volunteer fireman, I can't vote on that.
You're paid.
Smithbridge Road widening elevation proposal. You want to talk about it, Ryan? Or Mike?
Did we do this one, Jen?
Okay, can we get through this first? So, we discussed this some time ago. I think Councilman Cackering brought it up. Looking into widening Smithbridge Road from Route 9 to Jones Road. Obviously, there's some turns on Smithbridge Road, curves. There's a dam structure on Smithbridge Road. We recently performed a dam safety inspection for New York State DEC requirements. So with the widening and looking at the road needs work regardless, so at this time we're looking at it saying, all right, should it be widened? Which obviously involve the dam widening. So we consulted CT Mail Associates. They're the ones who actually did the design on the dam. It was rebuilt in the 80s. And they gave us a proposal, that's what you have here. It's a proposal to just start the work. Basically some landscape survey, geotechnical work, conceptual level plans, and just a letter report and opinion of probable construction costs on the project. And that, the total lump sum would be $89,000 for this work to just get started with this project. So that's up to the board if you want to proceed and engage with consultants as we move forward.
Now, that water source is Saratoga.
Saratoga would have to...
Would they be put in for the dam, chip it in for the dam? It's their water source, we have no control over their water source.
Yes, so the south side of Smithbridge Dam and additionally further to the west on Smithbridge Road, there's 2 adjacent properties that are owned by the city of Saratoga Springs, and we would need permission from them to use their property, probably fill it in. It would be...
I'm wondering if we shouldn't get their opinion first.
We've had a meeting with them, they want to work with us. The mayor's going to even try and get a grant.
I was gonna say, we need to
Yeah,
get them
before we
kick in
spend
some...
$89,000, I want to make sure they're going to let us.
No, we met the two high officials, they want to work with us. I even talked to the mayor, he's going to try and get a grant to help us.
Because I know this road was proposed many years ago for widening and straightening, and they took the barn down and everything to do it, but
And all this
I
stuff
don't
has
think they
been in
really did
place.
anything.
It's been in place for years, and it's just something that, and like I said, my dad got killed on that corner
Yes.
because it was narrow. My kid got hit on his
Many
bicycle.
accidents.
It's difficult to maneuver through there. Somebody
You can't walk it, you can't take a stroller down it.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
I thought it would be a lot more.
So a motion to proceed.
Well, this...
Somebody want to make a
I know,
motion to proceed?
I know, but I thought that would be a lot more.
Just a go look.
Just to look.
They're all the same, so these prices they get.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot.
Well, task force
Well, moving
is a
water.
letter report and opinion of probable cost. So then we would know then, correct? I mean, something has to be done. When I was on the planning board, we were talking about it when Belmonte's doing site visits, when Belmonte's developing.
I wish they did a little more while Balmonte was putting that, because
Yeah.
there would have been a little bit of
During the
a...
planning of...
Oh, that's right, that was his.
subdivision, it was, the land was required to make the curve.
Should did something medical.
Right.
We have a lot of stuff that's happening in the town, in that area. Smithbridge Road will be used as an access point, even with that new medical center that's
With that
going
lake.
in.
I just hate meeting a car in that one area by the ponds. It's intimidating.
Definitely a lot better, but it needs to be, we've acquired the property, we've done everything to get us to this point.
Yeah, no.
And,
I'll make that motion.
We've done
And
it.
a second?
Second it.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Voting delegate and alternate for New York State AOT conference.
So we have Councilman Bogardus and Ryan Riper.
Have we got an adult going with them?
Sounds like trouble.
Do we have an adult going with them?
We'll bring usually the town's attorney supervises us.
Ryan, you're the adult.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve those appointments
Second?
Second.
reluctantly.
In favor?
aye.
It's actually a good thing. We do get to vote on a lot of good bills that are being proposed to the governors and stuff. Not many of them get through, but there's a lot of.
I got a couple I'll give you.
I got a couple on my own.
Got a motion, second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Housing Choice Voucher, 5-year annual PHA plans, does with HUD, Maria?
Yes, yes. So HUD has a requirement that our administrator, which is Jen Inc., or Joseph E. Mastriani Inc., follow through and comply with regulations from HUD to say every 5 years, we have to complete and update the plans. So HUD requires a 45-day meeting notice before, for the public to kind of chime in and be aware of before we set the meeting meeting hearing, excuse me. So today, we're going to set the public hearing for January, so that would give more than the 45 days for people to, consider.
That is January 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Second?
Second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, who made the
Carried.
motion? Who made the
Ray.
motion?
Ray.
Okay, thank you.
It was all right.
All set, too.
Thank you.
Withdrawal from traffic mitigation reserve account, Carden Jones Road traffic design phase. Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Appointment to Park and Rec Commission, Sean. How you say that, Sue?
Let's go.
How you say it?
Let's go.
Let's go. 11/7/2024 to 6/30/2027.
I'll make a motion to appoint Sean.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Hold on. Committee reports.
Got nothing. Park's full.
Yeah, you want to bring that up?
They find a place to put those
We're working on it with the, I think we're
plants.
tie it
The thing you
in,
fell off of.
to tie it into the zip line. So when they come in to do that project, then we try to figure out a way to tie it in, if we can find a few bucks. I'd like to get a cover for it so that it don't get ruined.
It should have, definitely.
When is
And I
that
didn't-
zip line coming in? Would that be like next?
Spring of next year. Should be started, right? Starting it.
You cover them both?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we find one or two of them?
Hey, Ray, you want to dig up some cans out of your backyard?
I thought there was two.
Probably two of them.
Yeah.
The only report I have is on courts. They have their upgrades for security as per the these DOJ recommendations on securing the facility a little bit more. The judges are currently working on a redesign for the bench, and so that's still up and coming on the bench. We had ordered a countertop for the existing bench, but now they want to kind of reconstruct what the bench looks like. So the bench itself is on hold, but the counters and everything are ordered for the windows and everything that have been installed. Again, they're bullet and intrusion resistant windows. They cost a lot, but it's an upgrade to protect our employees behind. And also the Emergency Services Committee, we have the minutes, I believe they're online, if anybody wants to read them. We ended up canceling the last month's because I was sick. That's it.
Ryan?
Okay, just want to make everybody aware of new public open house. It's the first public open house we're having for the Carr Road, Jones Road, and also Northern Pines Road. It will be November 18th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. to discuss the project, get input from the residents, have conversations about the plans. We're at the very beginning stage of the plan design, so it's important to get people involved with the pathways, the roundabouts, and connectivity. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Gavin Park has been doing a survey of the community, asking what amenities they would like to see in town, you know, whether it's disc golf and various things at Gavin Park. However, they sent me the results, and a lot of the comments, because they left the line of just add some comments in, there was over 110 comments of pathways and connections to Gavin Park.
How to get there. How to get there.
Right, so there's a huge demand for this and access to the park and traffic safety in that area. So the timing of this is...
Well, is this the same format we had with the stakeholders a few weeks ago?
No, this will be just kind of show up. They're going to have boards set up at the, I'm not sure which gym, but at Gavin Park. And
The one that don't leak.
Pardon?
The one that don't leak.
Yeah. Yeah.
But have
And
they-
it's a conversation about the project and
But this, our next stakeholder meeting was supposed to be the people on, it was last night?
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
It was last week.
Thanks for telling us.
I didn't get an email on it.
Well, it was...
I had to go. I had no idea.
It was only, there was only...
I just want to make sure they knew about it before,
They were mailed.
so they weren't like, that's my yard.
Yeah, they were
Which we're not
mailed
taking pictures.
information. That's the intent, is to get the people that are directly impacted involved first, let them be aware of it, and then this is just a general public open house for everybody in the town to come and weigh their opinions, look at the plans, talk about it. You know, construction's not till 2026, so there's a lot of design work to be done.
Where, are we any closer on the 50 and?
Yes, so the Jones Road, Route 50, we're going after a large grant for that. That grant is due December 6th, and in the process of pulling information together to go to the grant, we actually already have the design funds in place. That was $500,000. So we're in a good place to go after the grant for the construction funds. Construction money estimated 6 to 8 million. So I've got to go down to CRTC in Albany and start lobbying for the money in the next year.
Them things go up $1 million a year.
Are we looking at 1 or 2 in that area? They are looking at 2, okay.
Yeah, they don't like the oval. You can go too fast on it, I guess.
Right. 1 was nice.
I can't sign I can sign the two little ones.
I just don't want to turn into Malta with all these.
No.
I know the state loves them, but.
Yeah, well, in the highway design manual, any intersection that's looked at, the first option you have to look at is a roundabout if it's feasible. For every intersection, it's one of the first options. It's the safest, it's not the most cannabis industry, affordable one, but that's what you gotta do.
Malta's a little crazy with
Well, if you look at Ingersoll and Jones back to back, that's where the oval one would make sense.
Which, the problem is, you can go 100 miles an hour in that oval.
Figure 8.
But remember Malta, exit 12, when it had lights, how long it took you to get out
I know.
Northway.
So to take a left on Route 50, you could be there for 7 minutes. Easy to take a left.
Yeah, I just had a phone call.
Oh, from Jones to 50?
Oh, yeah. At least, I mean, it's just awful.
She's been here forever.
It's actually faster to go in, get a cup of coffee, and go out the back entrance.
Yeah.
It's faster.
You always cut through Stewart's.
No, but I mean, you could, no. You could actually go into Stewart's, get a cup of coffee, and leave in that second, and be, there'd still be the same person at the stop sign.
Yeah, I'm anti-roundabout, I really am. But I have to honestly say that intersection that we have a red light currently at Ingersoll and 50, that's probably one of the biggest accident intersections. And we have a red light.
With a light.
And we're still a major.
Take a left in front of people to the right.
So.
It's awful.
I see it
It's
all the
awful.
time. Yes.
We need some sort of different mitigation there. And again,
That's the answer.
Anti-roundabouter, even the one in front of the driveway.
I'd love the oval, but when Howie explained it to me, he goes, John, he goes, you can get up to like 70 miles an hour if you made that an oval, and people would do it.
Yep.
He said, it isn't like like you could put 30-mile-an-hour signs in there, they would still try to, I mean, it's just human
Why they're
nature.
designed with a curve and the approach to slow you down.
It's to slow you down.
Calming.
And it makes it easier to sign with a slingshot.
We'll apologize to the town and residents that we're bringing roundabout to.
Well, that's all right. It's a safety.
I don't think they'll complain when they can walk.
All right, we've been recommended at 80 and 50 by the DOT to put a traffic light or a roundabout. I think the state should pay for it, it's their road, but they're not gonna. It has to do with Forest Grove, and I honestly believe most people are gonna come out to Jones. Traffic lights probably 400,000 or 500,000, roundabouts probably 3-4 million. So I think we should let our engineer, we gotta follow up on this, how we feel. I feel so, should be a traffic light.
So the developer.
Yeah, but where's that come out? On 50?
50 and 80. There's
How
a lot of
close is the
accidents
next?
there, that should have a light anyway.
The next intersection's like miles away though, right? So it's not like...
Jones would be your next intersection.
Right, so it would make sense for a light. A light would be the best solution for that.
I mean, eventually, if it's not working, we can upgrade to a roundabout down the line, right? In the future.
Cha-ching.
So, well, let's...
No, I think a light works there.
Least intrusive, and we could always...
The red light works there.
Right. I think the light would
It don't work when there's a...
Try and get a grant, whatever we do.
Yeah.
I mean, Belmonte, the developer has offered a contribution.
Yeah, he's kicking in.
How much?
Well, that's...
To be different.
100,000?
But we have a lot of development in that area on the other side of the road too. And unfortunately, I think it's too late in the process to be able to ask contractors to chip in on that.
He's kicking in.
They've already paid their fees and stuff.
We got it.
But any future development further up can apply monies towards that fee, correct?
So the developer's also upgrading Bullard Lane because he's using that as an access way.
Right.
And from what they've said, they, will contribute 500,000 towards that and the light. So whatever Bullard Lane is to fix and upgrade, the remaining would go towards the road light.
Hey, Mike, how much does that upgrade going to cost?
100.
He figured like 400, and maybe 100 for the light.
I think it's gonna be 400?
I think we have to go for it, whether we end up shouldering it or not. I've been to a lot of accidents in that intersection, and they're usually brutal accidents.
Let's tell Ryan our feelings, a red light or around.
Red light, I'm in favor of.
I would like to start at least...
The negative roundabout guy's not in favor of them. Red light, right?
I'd be okay with a red light.
Green light, come on.
You know our feelings.
Red light roundabout.
Balance of the funds from Belmonte.
Yeah.
Apply to it.
Apply for a grant when you get to it.
Yeah.
Maria, you want to do your controller's report, please?
Yes, thank you. The first category is our 2024 budget transfers, and item 1 relates to the purchase of folding tables for our elections day that we have over at Gavin Park. We purchased 20 tables. We have additional districts now with the redrawn districts that just happened, so we needed some more tables to replace some of the older tables too. The second item relates to the fact that we just received our annual retirement invoice from the state a couple of days ago. It's a little higher than what we had anticipated. It's $495,000 this year. Yeah. So we have available appropriation. We don't have to use fund balance for this. We're just transferring money that we're not going to be using for health insurance and transferring it over to the state retirement line. The third item is we have some additional expenditures in our highway road maintenance category for salaries because the paving season was extended. So I'm just taking money that would have already been allocated for snow removal, which we would have typically been in already, and transferring it over to... I know.
Yeah. What?
And putting it into road maintenance for that purpose.
Give them another 60, maybe it won't snow again.
And so the last item under budget transfers, item 4, is there's going to be some additional road repair because of this great weather we're having on Jones Road. I believe there are 2 projects on Jones Road. So the sum total of those 2 items is $90,000, and the money is going to be coming from net surplus in our current period road maintenance.
Make a budget.
Somebody want
Are
to...
those the road work signs that have like been set already, or is that the rail?
I think that's for the railroad.
Champlain Hudson.
That's for the railroad. I'll make a motion to approve the 1 through 4 budget transfers.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you. The second category is our 2024 budget amendments, and we are moving some revenue and expenditures for purposes of balancing the budget. I'm anticipating receiving electricity invoices for Town Hall for the remainder of the year of about $9,000 that we did not have funded. So I'm going to leverage interest that we've been earning on our investments to pay for that. Also leveraging interest and earnings to transfer money to our town court building for the additional, and this is not monies that we're transferring cash-wise. We have plenty of cash in our capital projects. It's to create the appropriation, because for years we haven't had any expenditures in the town court building, and now that we have expenditures, we have to actually put the appropriation to fund the expenditure, even though we have the cash. So between everything that Councilman Bogardus had mentioned earlier, we have about $18,000 remaining of spending because we've already accounted for the $21,000 for the glass that's been installed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, it was.
But, so total expenditures are going to be roughly $40,000 with what we know now.
Right, I think we had around 80.
Yes.
We gave back 100 and kept like 80-ish.
Yes.
Okay.
And so now we're even.
So we're down to like 19, you said?
Yeah, we're going to be putting $19,000 on the books for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that should cover the bench reconstruction?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. As far as I know, from my conversations with Scott, and if it turns out that we need to do more, we'll do more. We have the cash in that fund, we can do that. So
Okay.
this is just to pay the bills that we know are coming around the corner.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And so item 3 is related to that because item 2 is the money that's coming into the capital projects funds, but it's coming from the general fund. So we have on item 3, the funding of that appropriation using interest from item 2. So those two are connected. Item 4, item 4 and 5 are also related in that I am moving some excess cash. We have had capital projects funds on the books for a while that are not being pursued or are just old and they're done. So this cash that's been sitting in the capital projects fund, earning some interest, but not as much as I think could be. I'd like to sweep that cash back into the general fund, invest it, and, maximize what we need to do with that. So altogether, that's $235,000. Most of it will be coming from the court building, but there were some other projects as well. Item 6 is related to that stormwater study that we were just talking about for Smith Ridge Road. I had originally, I believe it was the last board meeting, had allocated money to fund that from our ARPA, because ultimately the construction will be ARPA funded, because it has to do with stormwater. So instead of using ARPA money for the study, I would rather use, now that we know where sales tax is going to land, and we're in a good place with sales tax, I'd rather use the sales tax money so that we protect some of that ARPA money.
All of our ARP money is properly earmarked, correct? We don't lose it in January.
So, yes, here's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
Coming down to
2024, here we come, right? We've been talking about it for a while. So more than just creating budget for a project that we think we're going to do, we have to have an executed agreement in place. That's one of the stipulations that the Department of the Treasury has said. You're not going to pass the sniff test if you're just creating a budget. You have to have an actual obligation. So that contract that we get for this stormwater project will satisfy that obligation to obligate. So
we will have that prior to the deadline. Correct?
Yes, yes, because we're going to be opening.
Second, we're receiving bids for this work at town complex, then December 5th, you guys.
Okay, so we're well within the time
Yes.
frame.
And we added the wash day.
Yes,
Highway department, some of that, yeah.
Right, so I just,
Yes,
we don't want to lose that.
what we need to do is, once we get that money in December, we'll still have a little bit of time to figure out what else we're going to be doing with that ARPA money. I don't know what they're going to come back with on December 2nd from the bid.
So you're going to have backup stuff in
I
between
have
the two
backup
meetings?
stuff, you know it, baby. I have, what we can do is use our lost revenues category. Instead of using, stormwater or public safety, we have a lost revenues, in which case we can use it for the governmental services that we provide. So our contract that we have, that we're currently doing now, the contract that we have with the county for the sheriff, for specialized services, that can be funded with ARPA money.
So we're good.
We did that last year.
We can do, yeah.
We're at like 900, right?
We're at about $900,000 that we have. We can use the interest, and we've been earning about $1,000 interest every month on this money, which is nice. And that money doesn't have to be used for ARPA purposes. It can go to be used for anything.
Right,
So
it's not part of the
that's not
grant.
part of our obligation that we need to make at December 31st, which is good. So, yeah, I'll have to, once we get that number from the bid, I'll be able to give a concrete, set of suggestions to the board in terms of what things we can do.
Awesome, thank you again.
Thank you. All right.
You want to make a motion on those amendments 1 through 6?
Second.
Karen, John.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you, Maria.
We have a backside.
Personnel items, yeah.
2 items.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sue wants to make sure she gets away.
Don't skip this.
Never mind that A. Okay.
So there's a Town Clerks Association regional meeting in Ithaca from December 7th to December 9th, and
something in the back?
is requesting to go.
there it is.
It requires overnight travel, so the board is requested to approve that.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried.
And then the annual conference that our building team goes to, and coding people, the 2025 Northern Adirondack Codes Conference is in Lake Placid from March 23rd to March 27th. And Mark Mikens, John Hurley, and Marcus Hart are requesting to attend. Again, overnight travel required.
Motion approved.
Second?
Second?
Yeah, she seconded it.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. I'm gonna make a motion, go into executive session on property litigation.
So moved.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We have something we didn't talk about.
Oh, shit. Well, not yet.
Nice. That's even better. We don't have noise.
All right,
Okay.
it'll be quick.
Make a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll
Okay.
second.
No action taken. What do you got?
No action taken?
Oh, wait, I thought we were gonna...
We did. We settled.
No?
The resolution is up? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did, we settled.
All right, they made a settlement for 628 Maple Avenue, 337948.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as recommended by council.
I'll second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
Hang on. So we opened the bids today for the renovation of Town Hall. We only had 2. We did not have any of the subs. There was no IT,
Thank you.
electrical, plumbing and heating. Companies picked up the bids, but they did not bid. So the 2 for just the shell of the building, we had Murnane was $2,998,000, and Gallo was $2,843,300. Ryan, what do you want to do with
And the extent of the work is just...
The shell?
No electrical, no anything.
I think we should rebid them.
MEP contracts, no mechanical, electrical, plumbing contractors bid it, which is odd.
Yeah,
So options are, we're at 3 million, just a shell, looking at.
That's a lot of work out there.
3.5, everything.
But we don't need lights or heat.
I mean, is the reasoning behind the expansion still the same as it was years ago when we first discussed it?
the community room, and I know that was one of the prior boards.
Yes. So it's this room, technology, you know, I mean, obviously we haven't had a lot of controversial issues lately. So our planning board meetings are big. The planning board meetings, remember, all the we have way better sitting out here, you know, the alternate. So board members can't sit there, technology, and basically if one more person is hired in the building, there's no place to sit. You know, so.
But we've got those standing desks now, like Maria has.
I was just trying to remember.
We got room in the basement.
Ryan, you have a big office.
Yeah,
right. It's your
I have a
roommate.
big office.
Sure, I'll
It's your roommate.
So does Amy. I think she could have a roommate too.
I think we should rebuild it. That's enough.
Yeah, I think rebid it too.
Rebid? Maybe give them a little bit more time?
Can we get it to a local, like, are those guys local? I didn't even recognize their name.
I didn't recognize
I know Munter picked up plans, but they did not. So this Clifton Park is Murnane, and Gallo is Watervliet. Do you want to rebid this and maybe open it in January? Give them a little more time? Or-
So the thing is, you know.
Or the end of
a lot
December?
variables. Contractors, they're all busy right now.
Bill Monty don't want it.
That's a problem.
Okay.
Bill Monty don't want it.
So do you want to make a motion to rebid?
Send it out for rebid.
And can we require that it be
Yeah,
inclusive?
we need to
that,
have
you know,
electrical in it.
Lights, plumbing, everything?
Yeah.
Doorknob functioning?
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well get one price right off the bat rather than two.
I think that's the smartest thing.
Well, you have to break it up into each, you know, for the Wicks law and stuff, you have to get the.
For how to pay, yeah.
So there's all individual, general contractors, then you have all your subs.
So we'll open on January 2nd,
Yeah.
2026?
So
5.
the other thing, the Belmonte Eden Road, so Bullard Lane, ballpark, we got an estimate, it was about 200,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, 400 is a lot.
Yeah, it was Belmonte.
That's what I thought. He said 400.
He did say 400 in our meeting.
Did you make a
No, which
motion to
is fine,
rebid?
because then that'll give us a 300 one.
And Ray seconded
We
that?
want the balance, so we'll have to have a conversation with Belmonte and say, no, it's only 200.
He offered us 500. He said, do what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take it.
But he's gonna do Bullard for, we're gonna say, 'cause he has a told us what the actual number is due.
He's gonna pad that.
He padded his,
Yeah.
he played a little game. Oh, it's gonna be 400, I'm putting it for, I'll give you 100. So then he goes in, has it done for 200, he pockets the other 200.
But he's not, he's giving us 5.
Should be.
Then give us the nickel and have Mike pay it.
Still in the meeting.
Well, why doesn't he give us 5 and we pay Mike to do
We're
it?
still in the meeting.
We pay the highway department.
Okay.
He gives us 5.
Mike does not want to do it.
What about the mall? Any update on that?
The last email was what, last month?
Told you. They got that assessed value up where they needed it. I'm done.
Hey, wait, we haven't adjourned yet, pal. Wanna make that motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
So,
Since you had a foot out the door already, so.
Go down the door.
All right. Okay. That's that.